So the other day I had this crazy dream experience and I thought that I would share with you guys because May is the month of crazy wild dreams. It's a thing. And so if you are noticing that you're dreaming more, that you're having more like intense or vivid dreams, then you're not alone. I definitely am experiencing the same thing. So the other night I had a dream and it was so vivid. It was right before I woke up and I was dreaming that it was like living like near the beach. In my mind, I was kind of thinking, is this like Byron Bay or somewhere like that? And I was kind of almost homeless. So I was in this like little caravan where I had like a little nook of like a very small like kind of caravan building thing, I guess, where I was snuggled up under like a little blanket, but basically there was like no space, no room. It was open to the elements, but I had this beautiful dog and it was so gorgeous, like a little like tiny small dog with like kind of like golden brown fluffy hair. And we would walk along the street and we would kind of like, I would scrounge for food and I was homeless in my dream. But at night this beautiful dog would snuggle in and I'd have my arm over the dog and I would just feel so safe and so warm and so loved. And it didn't really matter so much that I was homeless. Of course, it would be like great if I had, a house and clothes and food and so on. But the dog, my love for the dog was like intense. And at one point in the dream, the dog disappeared and I was heartbroken. Eventually we reunited and it was all good again. The weird thing about the dream was that it didn't feel like I was processing thoughts from the day. It didn't even really feel like my dream, but it was unbelievably vivid. Then later on that next day, or later on the day that I woke up, I had a conversation with a friend and she sent me a little video of her dog and I was like, oh my God, that's the dog in my dream. And then I realized she's currently living in a household situation where it's not really her place and she's kind of like living in a very small corner of the house. And I was like, oh my God, I've like tapped into her emotions and her energy and her situation, her subconscious mind essentially. When I spoke to her about it, she was like, oh my God, you were in my dream, or I don't remember you like the dream itself, but your presence was there. I was like, I know, I was in your mind. So how crazy. I've never had a dream quite that intense in the way that I've like literally tapped into someone else's subconscious mind before. There were other elements, but I don't want to expose all of what's in her mind to you. So I thought that I would also share maybe a little video about the different types of dreams, something I've been actually meaning to share for a while. So one form of dream is like an actual dream where we're processing the thoughts and the feelings and the experiences that we've had throughout the day. So I'm sure we've all had dreams where we might have a random collection of things, but you can place them like, oh yeah, I saw that on TV. Oh yeah, I had that conversation with a friend. Oh yeah, I went shopping and bought that thing, and then it kind of merge into a dream. So that's where our mind is processing all the thoughts from the day, and that's perfectly normal and really common. Another dream is where we might get a visitation. So someone that has passed, a loved one, a family member or someone, comes to visit us in our dream, and it can feel so real. It's like reality as we know it doesn't exist, and that is our new reality. And often it's very emotional. You might wake up crying or feeling like that person is like right there, and it's just unbelievably real. And that is called a visitation, where that person's essence or soul or spirit has come to visit you in your dreams. Because when you're asleep, your consciousness is kind of more thin. It's like a thinner veil between your 3D conscious mind and your sleep state. So it makes it easier for our soul or spirit and their soul and spirit to communicate. So that's pretty special when that happens. Another type of dream that is not so positive is what we call a psychic attack. So just like positive and high vibrational energies and spirits can visit us in our dream like a visitation, so can negative spirits as well. So the only reason that would really happen is if we are like really open energetically and we haven't cleansed our energy or we haven't protected ourselves properly, or perhaps we have done some energy work with something or someone, I should say, and something has kind of gotten in. So if that has happened, don't worry. It's also actually quite common. We will know that to be the case if we've had a really bad dream or a nightmare. So like everyone's had nightmares, right? It happens to everyone. Nothing to be scared about, and most of the time it will clear away the next day anyway. But if you're having reoccurring nightmares or reoccurring dreams, I would definitely encourage you to book in for a Reiki healing to just get a really deep energy cleanse and maybe some help with energy protection as well. So another type of dream is astral traveling, where we feel very galactic. So in our dream state, we might be out in space. We're seeing stars, we're seeing planets, asteroids, or different things like that. We might also be feeling like we're traveling super fast through space and there's a light kind of going through us, or stars kind of like passing by us. When we're astral traveling, we might also meet other beings, other spiritual beings, and they might be what we call star beings. So different spiritual consciousness that come from different galaxies or different dimensions. I won't go into details, maybe that's another video, but if that has resonated with you and you're interested to know more, you can also email me or contact me for extra questions if you have them. Astral traveling is really common, especially if you're very open energetically or you have a really open third eye. So it's normally really beautiful experience, but it can be a bit disorientating, especially if you're having that kind of dream right before you wake up. It can take a little bit of time for your conscious awareness to come back into your physical body. So if you are experiencing those kind of dreams, astral traveling, then I would definitely encourage you to do something that is somatic, so really physical or connected to your physical body first thing in the morning, like going to the gym, deep breathing, or even just a yoga class or tapping your body. That will really help you to bring your awareness back into the physical body as well. Lastly, I would definitely like to talk about connecting with your higher self in a dream state. So sometimes in our conscious waking state, we are not as connected to our higher self or our intuition. So the only way that our higher self can really connect back to us is in our dream state when we're most relaxed. So sometimes we will get like an insight, a psychic download, some information. This could also be a premonition as well. So you might see something that hasn't yet happened, and then later on you're like, oh my God, that actually happened. So that is where we are connecting with our higher self, or we're tapping into information from like the void or from source energy, from God. There's so many different ways, Akashic records. And if that happens, don't worry. You're not obliged to necessarily tell that person, for example, if you've had a premonition, unless you feel like it's important to. But I think the more open you are energetically and the more open your third eye is, then the more that you might have these kind of dreams. If you don't feel comfortable with these kind of dreams, then definitely book in for a Reiki healing. Again, it will just cleanse your energy. We can put protection, and I can teach you skills and how to protect your energy before bed. But not all of these dreams or psychic downloads, like most of the time, they're really positive, and it's very exciting to have them because they can give you guidance for your life or help with your decisions going forward. So if you have any questions about dreams, or if you're interested to know more, then definitely send me an email or book in for a Reiki and coaching session, and I would be happy to talk you through what your dreams mean and what to do about them if you have any queries or questions about that. So have a wonderful day, have a great sleep, and I'll speak to you soon.